Hello, I'm Jeta Gjara from Balkan Investigative Reporting Network, and here is how it all began.
Jeta in Kosovo has become, in a way, an opinion maker.
This show is changing, and it changes this society as we speak.
Me atë emision ka ardhur një frymë e re e gazetarisë në Kosovë.
Shihet qartë që policia veç është ka përderdhur në për turme dhe s'ka organizim.
This was the first show in which there was someone who invited people to her show and hold them accountable for what they are going to say.
I was a very angry 19-year-old teenager, and I got my first job working for the BBC crew that was covering the war. I thought, if I get the foreign media to go and see what's happening in Kosovo, the world might actually see all these human rights violations and do something about it. At that time, media in Kosovo was quite poor and following a little bit of a communist tradition where politicians were being allowed long speeches and they were being flattered on TV, and there was an agreement that powers that be were not to be challenged. With all that in mind, I was determined to set up a television program which would set new professional standards of journalism and provocative debate in Kosovo. But if I was to keep this show editorially independent, I knew I had to have my own money. So I spent a whole year fundraising, after which I gathered enough funds to hire an entire crew of 2 people.
Jeta came to me with an idea of producing a weekly current affairs program. This is Balkans. In Balkan, news and information is in general boring program. So my job was to produce a program that is interesting for the people.
We broadcast our first show in October 2005 with the most unpopular topic we could think of, Albanian-Serb relations.
Jeta in Kosovo was first televised program which gave a voice to Kosovo Serb community. And this was not a voice to tick a box and say we have minorities in, but this was like, okay, we are listening, what are your problems? So like, please tell us.
And after this first show, we got calls that labeled us unpatriotic, agents of Serbia, and traitors to our country.
Having a young lady ask the politicians who, where, when, why was a cultural shock to our audience. People either loved it or they hated it, but they watched it.
Shikues të nderuar, mirëmbrëma dhe mirë se vini në emisionin Jeta në Kosovë.
Jeta në Kosovë gjithmonë ka shku 2-3 hapa para tjerëve dhe e ka pas guximin.
It had these dynamics and everything what you expect of a television of 21st century.
A new week, a new problem. With Kosovo trying to build its own nation, we tackled education, poverty, economy, rule of law, energy, environment, healthcare, security, corruption, as well as, of course, the ongoing struggle to become independent.
Çka është pika e fundit? Vija e fundit ku do të thoni e prejmë nuk presim më.
Beside these big political and national themes, we soon realized that our most popular subjects were taboo themes such as homosexuality, violence against women, Islam, questions of culture and identity.
Na kosovarët jo thojmë këta nuk janë musliman të vërtet.
There were so many problems in Kosovo that a team of 3 people could not handle it. That's why we started seeking new blood and expanding our team.
This whole endeavor was going to be a failure if it remained a show based on the personality of one journalist. I wanted Jeta në Kosovë to become the Kosovar institution of watchdog current affairs television. In 2007, Kosovo had its first direct mayoral elections. So we embarked upon a tour of public town hall debates in every municipality. We weren't able to pull this off on our own. This was a major operation. We did it with the essential cooperation of 2 organizations, GAP and ATRC, as well as the cooperation of 7 local TV stations and 30 local NGOs.
She made it possible for the people to actually communicate openly, putting municipality under the spotlight.
Përzihet I ka marrë detyrat edhe kompetencat e kryetarit.
Being a hard-hitting current affairs program in Kosovo definitely poses its challenges. In the years we've been broadcasting, we've experienced an increasing amount of threats and violence against our crew, as well as attempts to have our show taken off the air.
Monet jeta në Kosovë ti mos t'i pëlqej ndoj kujna, I cili ka ndikim në atë televizion ku emitohet jeta në Kosovë, dhe mund ta stopoj.
There is a current ongoing struggle of the public broadcaster to remain outside the hand of the government.
We're certainly not giving up. Our vision is to go beyond Kosovo and expand this model of watchdog media regionally. The Balkan neighborhood shares common problems. We believe we can help the region find common solutions.
This is what I think Jetën e Kosovë is about. It's like, it has to be there, and it has to grow, and it has to improve, and it has to follow the trends, because it's the mechanism to be there to ensure that there is democracy, that there is a freedom of speech, that there is a media who plays its watchdog role.
You're tough.
And today I feel very sorry that I cannot be there with you, but I am 8 months pregnant, and being 4 weeks before giving birth, there was a risk to give birth on the plane if I came to Vienna. However, I consider this award to be a recognition to Bern's contribution to raising journalistic standards in the region. I feel exceptionally privileged that the work, investigative reporting and debates that the Bern team in Kosovo and in the region has done has been recognized to have contributed to more rule of law, more transparency and more accountability in the region and in our young country. Thank you.